everyone, welcome to Review TV channel, where we highlight what's happening across the African diaspora and the continent. Today I've got some important fresh developments, from trade to visas to refugee policy, that matter for Black people worldwide, including the diaspora. These stories show shifting power, opportunity and challenges, and why it matters for us. If you care about Africa, identity, global Black unity, this video is for you. Let's begin. Recently, a committee in the US House is set to take up a proposed 3-year extension of African Growth and Opportunity Act, also known as AGOA, a trade initiative giving many sub-Saharan African countries duty-free access to US markets. But here's the twist. Under growing political tension, especially between the US administration and South Africa, there's a risk South Africa might be excluded when the extension passes. That matters. AGOA has historically supported export industries, manufacturing, textiles, agriculture across many African countries, meaning jobs, revenue, and a link between Africa and global markets. Losing access or seeing uncertainty threatens economic stability. Why this is high growth potential? If AGOA is renewed and stays inclusive, countries beyond South Africa could see export boost, attract diaspora investment and grow industries. For diaspora entrepreneurs or investors, this could mean new markets, export-oriented businesses or partnerships bridging continents. Also, the government of Ghana announced that for the upcoming Diaspora Summit in 2025, scheduled between the 19th to the 20th of December in Accra, they'll grant free visas to all registered participants, making it easier for Africans and people of African descent around the world to attend. This acts as a major Pan-African solidarity move, lowering financial and bureaucratic barriers for diaspora engagement. It's a practical push for inclusion, unity, and building global Black networks. For members of the diaspora, this summit is a chance to reconnect, network, invest, and explore collaborations, which could lead to business, cultural exchange, skills transfers, or diaspora-led projects across Africa. For Africa broadly, tapping into diaspora capital, skills, and networks can accelerate development, entrepreneurship, and global integration. Now, in a concerning development, Uganda recently announced it will stop granting asylum or refugee status to individuals from Eritrea, Somalia, and Ethiopia, citing funding shortfalls and arguing those countries are not war-torn enough. For a continent already challenged by wars, climate crisis, political instability, this is a worrying trend. Thousands who might have looked to Uganda for shelter could be left vulnerable. So why does this matter and why it's a call to action? Well, this isn't just about one country. It affects African unity, human rights, and diasporic solidarity. It speaks to broader structural issues of how displaced Black people are treated on the continent. As diaspora communities, awareness and advocacy become essential. When trade deals like AGOA are renewed, or when countries like Ghana open doors to diaspora via visa-free or free visa policies, that creates opportunities for business, for reconnection, for cultural unity, and for economic growth. But on the flip side, policy reversals like refugee status cuts remind us that progress isn't linear, structural challenges remain, and vulnerable communities can suffer. This moment is a crossroads. There's potential to leverage these developments through travel, business, investment, networks, but also moral responsibility to stay informed, support vulnerable communities, and push for justice and inclusion. So as we're bringing this video to an end, I just wanted to mention a few more points here regarding these recent developments. With AGOA's possible extension, African exports and diaspora Africa trade commerce have a real chance to grow. For diaspora entrepreneurs or investors, this could be a time to explore new ventures, collaborations, and return on investment tied to Africa's growth. Policies like Ghana's free visa for the Diaspora Summit show concrete steps toward including Africans abroad in continent-wide dialogues. This is about belonging, identity, and shared future, not just nostalgia. Whereas on issues like refugee protections, remember there are vulnerable communities whose stories matter. As global Africans, we have a part to play, whether via awareness, solidarity, or advocacy. And lastly, putting together trade, travel, human rights, and diaspora inclusion, this moment has the potential to deepen global Black solidarity, shift power, and reshape what it means to be part of the African diaspora. So that's what's happening right now. Real changes in trade, mobility, solidarity, and human rights. If you're part of the diaspora or care about Africa, this is a moment to stay alert, stay connected, and act. Drop a comment below which of these developments matter most to you. Would you join something like the Diaspora Summit? Yes? No? Share your thoughts, like, subscribe, and let's keep building together. One love.